Thought we was playing? Y'all thought this was for play, huh? Nah, this is serious business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, with no further ado,
For believers, they're spitting truth up in the stew.
Okay.
Each with different flavors, you can savor, you can chew. Talking life, love, and Christ, just to name a few. Grab a seat at the table, we got a bowl that's just for you.
Okay.
Trey, stay whipping up the work in the kitchen. And Wit, we can't keep up with the heat that she be dishing. And height, he had the sight, he was blessed with the vision. And me, I'm in the back, I'll be handling the dishes. I hope you don't mind if I speed it up. Stay at the beat as I beat it up. Serving it cold, you can heat it up. The food is good, you should heat it up. Thank the Lord for redeeming us, for the four of us teaming up. Lifestyle was dirty, he cleaned it up. Gave us a voice, now we speaking up.
told y'all. And that's light work. I had to contain him from giving y'all more. That's light work. Stay tuned. Everybody mic on?
Sing it, Chris. And a house is not a home. It's finally home.
Where we at?
It's been too long, y'all. Lufa.
I think that's our 15.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, that's about it.
We on copyright.
It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you.
What's good?
Without a dope beat.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome
this
back.
is the Last Supper podcast. Appreciate y'all pulling up, breaking bread, getting fed with us. It has been a few weeks, but I'm back with the squad, or at least 2/3 of them. You know, Trey is out doing the Lord's work again as usual.
Making money.
Because this ain't the Lord's work.
You know, the Lord
Apparently.
seems to consistently call him.
He got a whole nother phone for the Lord.
For the Lord.
Hello, Lord, is that you?
And it only ring on Friday night. Going into Saturday morning.
The Lord just called. Fam, I didn't even
You would
expect
never
it.
believe
Right, I was on my way, and he paged me. He got a page.
Nah, he's always doing something that's worthwhile. So
Yeah, man.
But we're gonna give you a hard time as usual. So we miss you. But we're gonna hold it down as usual.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Fred.
Shout out to Fred. Yo, we back.
Got our Freds.
We back in the studio,
Back
man.
in,
Y'all don't even understand the difference in the feeling of being in studio with Fred, man. It's
Let's
just
Yes, Lord.
let's take a minute to
Yeah,
acknowledge
man.
that we've been orphans for a while. Our podcast has been bouncing around all raggedy in my apartment.
I feel like
That
Simba.
couch was the
I
ghetto.
feel- the couch was the
That couch was the
Look,
ghetto.
it wasn't made for us. The light wasn't made for
Oh,
us.
man.
The angle of the couch ain't made for us. But we made it work.
This is
While
it.
Fred made new friends and made new recording friends.
And I hate
started
him.
a new podcast.
And I hate them. I hate all of them.
I finally called. I was like, "Can we finally come back, please?" He was like, "All right, pull up on Saturday." I was like, appreciate it. And then we pull up, and he done Fredivated the whole place.
Upgraded.
Fredivate, I like that,
Man,
Chris.
Fredivate. I coined that when I walked in here because
Okay.
he put in a stage and a whole separate room for the booth and crazy disco lights and this new 2028 ceiling fan that plays music and changed the table that I thought was nailed to the ground. Just made all kind of moves.
And let me just say this too. Whatever you can see on camera, it probably has 3 or 4 different functions. The music that you heard came from a lamp. That's also a fan. That's also a light. That's also a Bluetooth speaker.
That changes colors.
And
That's
does
also a disco ball.
and it does your taxes. Just connect via Bluetooth and forward your W-2 and it does your taxes too.
Exactly. And then he got them same lights over there in his little mini stage now that so he can have his own like tiny desk production
Tiny
corner.
desk.
I love it. He got a big leather chair that he was like, "You want? I don't want it no more." So we got a recliner now.
Okay.
So we're gonna take that.
Shout
We gotta
out.
arrange a truck. But
Yeah.
We're gonna slap that somewhere in the den.
That's how you know you got money when you give away real leather.
Real leather.
Like leather ain't cheap.
Yeah.
Fred.
Yep. But no, we missed you, man.
Seriously,
And,
though, it's good
missed
to be
your,
here.
your ingenuity and innovation because I don't know what I'm doing back behind this on these operations here. I'm learning. I'm learning about fire. Learning about fire for real. But yeah, good to be home. And that's why we came into the loofah because what is a stew without TLSP? You know,
Not much.
not much.
You know what it
much.
sounded like? It sounded like you said we came into the loofah. I'm like,
I did say
loofah?
Loofah Vandross.
I know, and now I was like, wait, somebody showering? Like, what is
No, we good. Yeah, I was.
It's like, what are we doing? Oh no! All right, cut and print. Start over. I started over from the tippity.
When I bought that camera, it was supposed to be able to connect to the computer. You don't do that.
Lies.
Yeah, don't do that no more. They literally upgraded like 2 weeks after I brought it. It was like it no longer has that capability. So.
It's like connects to MacBook. Psych.
I like the setup though. Like, you know,
I
like the backdrop. Oh, Fred got a new logo. Can I tell about the new logo you gonna do? All right. We'll wait to reveal that. We got a new logo. It's coming out. It's gonna be dope. That we're gonna put on merchandise.
Come on, rebrand.
You know, it's time to rebrand because honestly, I was planning on having hoodies and shirts by now, and I put in that invoice and they hit me with that $2,000 for like 50 shirts. Or 60.
Well,
I said, "Excuse me,
we would have had to sell the dang.
do you have gold in your paint? Do the shirts come with diamonds encrusted on the collar?"
God.
And they were like, "No, you got 8 colors in your logo." I was like,
8 colors.
8 colors. It was beautiful though. Made it for a dope hat. But
not a
yeah, can't really sustain that. But shout out to Kiera for the first logo. We're gonna keep it on board.
It's our OG logo.
It's our
That's
OG
our
logo.
logo. You know, that's our day one for sure. Now, time for the catch up. What have we been doing, squad? Let's start with Wit.
The Queen.
Queen Wit. What have you been blessing the streets with recently since we last convened?
Not too much. I've been more in the Cedar House bag, so I've been doing a lot of like furniture rehab.
I'm sorry, you said the what?
So working on one of my
the furniture.
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of that. Been like really had a lot of creative energy lately, so I've been spending a lot of time in my garage, booking trips, living life.
Yeah, booking some last minute getaway trips.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go.
You got fed trouble?
I had to. If I wouldn't say it over here. I wouldn't say it over here.
Right. We'll talk offline.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
no, other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. I'm excited to roll into my summertime. And
yeah.
I was hoping it's going to be a hot girl summer, but it might be lukewarm, but I'm going to still try to get out of
We're
here.
hoping
Do your
for
thing,
lukewarm. At least give us lukewarm, Lord.
Please, room temperature. That's all we ask for.
Summer, because it's been cold. Man,
Yeah.
last summer we moved downtown and it was like we moved during curfew, lockdown, pandemic. Like it was everything at once.
And y'all live in a good spot in
We
downtown.
live in where like everybody would convene if we
Bruh, it's like, what are you doing with that couch? I'm just moving. Like
get back inside.
Can he
They outside
leave your
now.
furniture on the streets? Like, chill out.
People are outside now.
Yeah,
You
they-
go
oh,
outside
yeah, they
now,
everywhere.
Like, I guess COVID over.
Sunday Funday was back in effect.
Back in full effect. We went, where was we at? Yeah, we was Gaslight last night, and I'm like, what the heck?
46,000 people in.
Gaslight. This place called Gaslight in
Where's
Uptown.
that?
It's in Uptown. It's right next to. Remember we went to that place called the Gents Place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The barbershop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
barbershop.
it's right around there. And the whole
Gaslight.
thing was pop. It's like
It's popping.
the whole thing.
So it's like a bar. It's like a
Yeah, it's like a bar. It's like a hookah bar. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
like an Afro Caribbean
Afrobeats.
vibe. Yeah.
Nice.
What was it? That thing like doing
Dirty
the Bobby
Wine.
Smurda
Dirty Wine,
dance.
no.
You was whining with? All right,
That's the only
with.
kind of dancing I could do, y'all.
What's
'cause
that
I
song?
don't.
Got somebody. She's a cutie.
You gotta put in the hip.
Yeah. Take good care of me. That's everybody's like
Yeah.
go to like.
That's the only one we know.
Yeah.
They
I-
really robbed us.
If you want to listen to some
Like,
good,
black people in
if you want to
America
listen to some
really
good
got
music
robbed.
like that, turn on some Egyptian. If you haven't heard Egyptian, check out Egyptian. He's
Yeah.
Egyptian.
That's my man.
Shout out to Egyptian.
That's my man.
Whoever that is. out
What
there.
about y'all? What y'all been up to?
Red, what you been up to, dog? I ain't seen you.
You haven't seen me.
Nah.
I've been so I've been working like a madman, y'all.
Yeah, because you back in the office now, huh?
I'm
Like,
yeah, I'm
dust.
there's no dust in
From
here.
all of the Frederick.
All the renovations.
Got the dust in there.
No, I've been working like a madman recently, man. I had to go back to work probably about a month and a half ago, and because of COVID, a lot of people at my job were let go, and now we're doing a lot of rehiring.
Yeah.
And so, me being the sole trainer at my company, I'm having to get everybody up to speed, do some. We're updating our systems and things like that. So I'm doing a lot of stuff at work involving training. A lot of new employees and a lot of existing employees. So I'm like swamped right now.
Yeah.
I've been creating new stuff, but aside from that, me and Chris had a conversation about 3 weeks to a month ago, and it was about music. Me and Chris both love music. We've been working on this album, and so he kind of showed me his way or method of how he constructs a song or a verse, and it was really insightful because we have totally different writing styles.
Yeah.
And so it's been helping me a lot. So like I've been writing a lot more. And it's I told my cousin this yesterday, like we have a saying that we say, like if someone's really great at something, like they've become one with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like Michael Jordan is one with basketball. Yeah. And I feel like when it comes to writing, like I'm starting to really become one with it.
He's fusing with it.
And like I'm kind of, I'm different.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I love that you're like actually finally like putting it out there.
Yeah, I gotta, like, and that's another thing too. Like one of my issues was I wouldn't write. And it wasn't because I was lazy, it was because of fear of letting myself down and others down when it came to writing. Because I'm very tough on rappers. I'm very tough on rappers. Like, if you're not talking about nothing,
trash.
Like, Frizz, this out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to really be spitting. So, because of that, I think I put so much pressure on myself.
He was like, is this hot enough?
So now, like, I'm realizing, like, yo, like, Chris made a comment last week, and it shocked me that he said this. He said, "Rail, if you had my drive, you'd be unstoppable." And he said, "Rail, like, you're better than me at rap." And I was like, I've listened to Chris. I've heard Chris. And Chris is different with a pen in his hand, y'all. It's crazy. It's crazy. So like when he said that, it was like not like I want to live up to it for Chris, but I'm like, I gotta stop believing and seeing myself like that. Mm-hmm. So like I've been in my bag. I got a pen right here. I'm ready to write fire line. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I've been writing a lot more, and that's something that I'm doing. Also looking at some trips. I think we just talked about this before we went live. Looking at going to the Dominican towards the end of May. Told Chris about it the other day too. If he wanted to hop on that plane, you know what I'm saying?
Something fun. Y'all should.
Try and move around a little bit, man.
Go before the fifth wave.
I told him if I go. The question is,
you gotta go between waves now. You gotta travel between COVID waves.
The question would be,
you have no idea how funny it is to me.
Nah, I told him when he said he wanted to go to the DR, the question was going to be,
can he come
back? Because I can set up.
Chris going to have a fake accent. I met this island beauty and she didn't want me to leave, so I decided to stay here.
Shack on the beach. Give me some beers, some mangoes.
Okay, Chris, Jarrell, let me tell you one thing. Let me tell you the one thing. Like, Chris, what do you say? Like, chill out. You don't even have an accent. This is fake. This is fake. This is fake.
What are you doing?
You here for 3 days. Jarrell, I'm getting married tomorrow. She's a queen.
Nah.
What about you, Heights?
What have I been doing? A lot. What can I talk about? Let's start there.
Are there illegal things you can't discuss on camera?
Not illegal per se, but just we need more time to develop before I reveal some other things.
Okay. The baby. No, lies, y'all. Lies.
I told you I wasn't ready.
None of my business.
I'm just playing, y'all. That's my brother. I gotta mess with him.
No, there's no babies on the way.
There's 2.
Triplets, y'all.
Stand, y'all. No. I'll start with the brunch we had because that was fun.
What brunch? Oh, okay, yeah.
So Royal came to the crib last weekend and we cooked brunch for the family, and that was an event just because the Heights love to cook, we love to eat, so we kind of. What's the side of?
What family?
The Height family.
Oh.
Fred,
was you at? Sorry. Okay, back to the story.
This is actually Rel's idea. He sparked the idea. He was like, "We're gonna have brunch. I'm gonna come over there and cook for y'all." And my mom was like, she reminded me to remind him every 2 or 3 days. Like, is Rel still coming over to do that brunch that he said that he was gonna do?
I know that's right.
And she texted me one day and she was like, "Rel, you still doing this brunch?" I said, "Yeah, I thought we was gonna do it." She said, "Chris was over here saying, ain't nobody think about you, Mom." I said, "God, dog."
Savage. Me. I'm like, "Anybody thinking about you in that brunch?"
What's food?
I know that. She like, listen, I'm just go to the source.
Right. She had very little faith.
I need to get this
she had very little faith in our ability to execute that. But we did. We had salmon. Real made these ridiculous fruit pancakes. Had some bacon, some egg sausage. Some eggs with sausage in them. What else we had? Some breakfast potatoes, some fruit. It was dope.
Yeah, it was really good meal.
It sounds good.
Oh yeah. I went to sleep immediately.
Yo.
For 2 hours.
Yo. Chris was gone. Like, I'm sitting there having a conversation with his dad and some of the other family members is there, and I'm like, yo, where Chris at? Chris is calling the hogs. Like, yeah, Chris was gone.
It was one of them. Now, I think I had like bad sleep the night before, so I was still tired, and then that meal really just kind of put me on my back.
You blame
Literally.
that. Blame
No,
that.
I do. I will. So
I will.
So that was fun. Outside of that, I have been trying to record this album. Working on 2 projects. I've written a solo project and I've written a project with Rail. And I went crazy because the solo project was supposed to be 4 songs and it ballooned to like 16 now. So it's 16 songs and 4 interludes. You're going to do an interlude. You're going to do an interlude.
I've been waiting on my voicemail moment.
Trey going to do an interlude. I'm going to do an interlude. So we're going to have
you
good. We're going to have 4 TLSP interludes and 16 tracks. And I'm going to do it in 2 parts. So it's going to be 8 songs, 2 interludes on one, 8 songs, 2 interludes on the other.
Okay.
So it's going to be a part 1, part 2.
Okay, like a Nelly Sweatsuit album.
Not the Nelly. No, I'm not even going to do that.
You're gonna have a suit on one of the covers, and maybe like what's gonna be on the other cover? What you gonna be wearing, like a jogging suit?
Yeah. I'm gonna wear a jogging suit, then like that burgundy TLSP suit I got on the other.
Okay.
One. That's gonna be the covers.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yay.
Something like that.
Yay.
So yeah, Redeem Savage Part 1 and Part 2. That's in production, and I've been over here in that Phil's studio recording Part 1, putting Fred to work. Had some guest features pull up as well. Shout out to Tev, shout out to Quincy, shout out to Brandon, shout out to Victoria, and then shout out to all the future ones that's gonna pull up. Melody, Amber, I think that's everybody. You, Rel, I almost forgot you. My fault.
I see that. The hate is real. Now I'm calling that Grammy nomination coming for my guy. I'm calling
Let's
it.
speak it. I gotta get in the habit of claiming these wild, ridiculous visions and ambitions that I feel like I can accomplish, but it's so hidden and compacted within me that it's like it feels stupid to say out loud, but I do feel like it could be Grammy worthy. Like once I put it together, y'all hear it, like it's gonna be dope.
It's gonna be fire.
Well, don't say it can be. Say
it will
is.
be. It is, and it will be.
Already is.
It already is.
It already
Thank
is.
You. See,
just coming across the line from spirit to physical.
Mm-hmm.
But it already is.
I got to be more intentional about that. So, yeah. I put Fred to work the other night, putting together one song, but I think it's gonna be a hit. So that is slowly but surely coming together. What else am I doing? I already said I'm rebranding the logo. I'm off social media right now. Like I temporarily disabled my Instagram account.
What's that?
Instagram?
Social media?
Yeah, exactly. I'm off that. And I'm really, outside of the podcast and music purposes, I'm really gonna try to limit it to that because it's so bad. And I feel myself changing internally. As I get older and into this I feel like I'm going into a new season of life in a lot of areas. Personally, creatively, even what I just do for a living maybe. And it's like, I don't know, I feel myself changing and somewhat putting up walls and realizing I don't know, I just feel like my circle just keeps getting smaller in the sense of with every year that passes, I'm just valuing the people that I love more and cutting off a little more fat. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm into now. So Instagram and kind of just separating myself from people and situations and just surrounding myself with family and love right now. I think is where I'm at mentally. I think I need playing with my niece. I got a lot of nieces and nephews. One official one, and then 10 unofficial ones. And just surrounding myself with them is kind of keeping me fulfilled right now. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been on. But I'm glad to be here. And another thing I wanted to say was we took a break because I've been going crazy on the music and interviewing. I'm trying to get a new car and things like that. So I'm glad to be back and glad to get back to the consistency of it because I've missed our conversations. And yeah, we got a good one today. So we have a new rule. The last person that pulls up for the episode brings in the topic. And today, Whit graced us with her presence last. So I'm going to swing it to her to bring it in.
Shout out to
She loves
I'm
to
gonna
be
do
put
my
on
best.
the spot.
shout out to Fred on the rule change.
Yeah, that was
Right.
Or the
Fred.
rule
That was
implementation.
The
Fred
last minute rule implementation.
Yeah,
There
it
was
like,
no
Fred.
ramp up period.
Yeah, you know what? But
So what we getting
So basically,
into?
Fred's like the government.
That's what
know?
it seemed like
he's
to
Big
me.
Brother.
It's official.
He's CLSP Big Brother for sure.
That's what it seemed like to me.
The eye in the sky.
And Chris was like, "It's done.
You know what?
Stamp.
Let's get it today."
Stamp of approval.
So we talking about Lecrae had some interesting Twitter finger thoughts.
Twitter
Finger thoughts over the last week or so. I guess that had a lot of the Saints up in arms. What was he kind of
You want
talking
to
through?
read?
He was
I'll,
saying,
I'll read it for you. Want me to read it for
yeah,
you?
yeah. Give us the.
I'm gonna give you the lay of the land real quick, and I'm gonna give you a little context as to the conversation.
Yes, that's great. That would be great.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna do it for you. You know?
I appreciate that. This is a practice round.
Next time.
And
Trey, will you hear this?
Well, no, next time Trey will be late. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what? Trey probably gonna be the all-time leader.
Trey gonna introduce him. That's his role.
Like, Trey, bring us in, baby.
He gonna be like Steve Harvey on Apollo. Like, bring up the next act. We gonna rub the tree.
Honestly, no. Okay, so Lecrae put out a series of tweets on the 31st, and it was dropped in a group chat that I'm in, and the general sentiment shared amongst the majority of the people discussing it was that it was unnecessary. I'll use that as the word that they felt. They felt like it would do more harm than good in what he said. And on some levels, they felt that the church had been taking its lumps recently. And basically they didn't need it from the inside. And so those was just one of those things that it was just better not said. Mm-hmm. And then they even made the point that the medium that he chose wasn't the best choice, with it being Twitter. Excuse me. So with all that being said, they kind of canceled the tweet and started a movement to almost cancel him. They kind of stopped a little short of that.
Didn't get canceled
all the way, but they were kind of like
postponed.
You know, and I think he had said some things.
He on
recently.
probation right now.
Yeah, he definitely on probation. He might have an ankle monitor. And I think he's even said things recently that may have ruffled some feathers or rubbed them the wrong way. And so this was kind of like just another thing in their mind. And so that started the movement in the chat, to which I responded, and I was the only one that felt enough to voice it. Like, I don't really see it that way, you know? And when it gets the grain of the general mentality of the group, I didn't feel like what he said was demeaning or, you know, dangerous in any way. I just kind of took a different perspective to it. So now I'm going to read what he said, and we're going to discuss it, and then you get to make up your own mind about it. But we're going to tell you what we think. So it starts off with saying, "I love Jesus, but I'm not churchy. I used to be embarrassed by that, but now I realize it's okay to love God, but not fit in with church culture." Then he goes on to say, "I don't know all the hymns. I prefer rap or R&B styles over contemporary worship styles. I don't wear suits. I can't dress like a mega church youth pastor. I didn't grow up on gospel." Then he goes on to say, "Being a follower of Jesus, sometimes I felt I needed to embrace these things and felt left out because I didn't. I feel like worship music is a style and matter of taste. I'm not really a fan of it. If you rap it or sing it like Jasmine Sullivan, I rock with it." Laugh face. "To be fair, this is not an attack on church culture. Love and worship God how you're led. But I've often felt like an outcast because I don't relate to it." That is it. That is the whole tweet. So now that you've heard it, you can go to research it for yourself if you hadn't deleted it yet. Yeah. And I guess I'll start off by weighing in. When I read that, it was really hard for me to pinpoint, at least up front, the issues they were having with it, because it seemed very honest, but not demeaning or demonizing of church culture. I interpreted it as just his experience and his opinion and his preferences, you know? And he went as far as to say, you know, this is not an attack on church culture and worship the way you're led. This is just the way I'm led, and for these reasons, I felt like an outcast to the traditional church culture. To which I agree, almost in every aspect that he listed, verbatim. I don't like to dress the way you're expected to dress in a mega church setting. I don't typically. I've grown to appreciate contemporary gospel music because I've matured in my faith and my spirituality. But I always gonna prefer some bars or some singing. Or something that sounds trappy. Give me the 808s and all the reverb, all that.
Where's my snare?
Yeah, exactly, and the bleeps, all that. But I've learned to appreciate the other style. But if you're gonna ask me what I naturally rock with, it's gonna be what he rocks with. And I'm not the most knowledgeable in terms of verses, in terms of hymns, and just in terms of the things that make you in the inside of that culture. I can tell you that just due to my experience in growing up, church felt kind of ritualistic in a way, to where I didn't really view it as a culture that I needed to even be a part of. It was just something I checked the box in on a week-to-week basis. So it was very much like unimportant and unrelatable. So yeah, that's kind of me. And I was just kind of taken back to see the responses from people and how they didn't see it how I saw it. But yeah, that's how my initial thoughts. What about you? What you think?
I think I'm still having a hard time finding the problem. I think I feel like that now. Even like in terms of like being in a position where you're asked to teach Bible study, but I feel like that. I feel like, well, hold on. Like, I love the Lord, but church is, he said it, church is a culture, right? Mm-hmm. Like T.D. Jakes says it all of the time, that if God were to come now and like show up at Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship or the Potter's House, we would have to explain to him what the rules are and how to move and how to maneuver and what to do in church. We would truly have to. Mm-hmm. And so I don't understand, and maybe y'all can help clarify where the offense is, but I don't understand why it's problematic that he expresses an environment makes him feel uncomfortable, because I thought that that's what 2021 Twitter said that we should all be doing. But two, where the problem was in what he said, there's a lot of Christians, more Christians than not, who don't relate to Black church culture, right?
Man,
like, or white evangelical church culture, right? You got a whole side of the world that's not in America, that's church has its very own culture, right? Church is culturally defined based off of where you are in the world. So I don't think that's an unfair statement to make. I actually resonate deeply with it. I do too. Really like church. Like you said, I've grown to like it better, and I think it also makes Christians like myself, like Lecrae, you start to feel like, well, like, am I a real Christian? Right? Like, but then I think about how deeply I love the Lord, right? And how deeply interwoven he is into every fiber of my life, right? And I think I'm more of a Christian than most Christians I know, right? So,
amen that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I want you to go, and then after you go, I'm gonna read some comments, because I want to highlight some of the random comments that people have submitted to that post.
And one last thing, sorry, Real. I think, because you mentioned that whoever you were talking to was saying that the church is facing enough backlash. But why? You know what I'm saying? Why? Because the church keep doing stuff like the church make everybody like, why is the church facing backlash?
They do be messing up though.
Why? You know what I'm saying? Well, people ain't just victimizing the church. Why?
And I think it's more of like, it was more of like he's not trying to, or they weren't trying to shift responsibility of the church. I think it was more of the fact that it was coming from the internal. Like,
so think about it like this: when it's Black people, we say, when white people tell us, well, if you don't like America, go back to Africa, right? And the rebuttal is, and the rebuttal is, wow, we love America. This is our home. And when you love a thing, you critique it, or you offer constructive criticism, or you point out where its flaws are. How can you love a thing if you don't also have the capacity to correct it? And I think the church is very, very resistant to being corrected, but it loves to correct. And I think that's what, like, I don't see nothing wrong with the man said.
Personally, I hate everything that he said. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Personally, it's a no for
I'm
me.
kidding. No, in all seriousness, I don't have a problem or issue with anything that he said. As Chris mentioned, I feel like he was giving his experiences, his preferences, his likes, his dislikes. And one of the things that I hate about what he said is something that's true. There's a church culture.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a church culture. You know what I'm saying? It's all about relationship. And so one thing he said that really stands out, he says, being a follower of Jesus, sometimes I felt I needed to embrace these things. As a follower of Christ, we're not even supposed to embrace other things.
We're supposed to like the world.
You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to embrace him, and that's it, and just show love to everybody else. I shouldn't feel a need, and the thing is, it's because of the outside pressures that happen within the church to walk a certain way, to dress a certain way, to sound a certain way when you speak. And for example, I was talking to my cousin the other day, like, I don't know every verse in the Bible. I'm at church sometimes, and my church has a older congregation sometimes, and I don't know the songs they be singing. I be sitting there like, okay. I'll sit there and I clap, because yeah, like, you know what I'm saying. So I sit there and I listen, and I don't have a problem with that. But at the same time, like, if I had my way, I wouldn't mind listening to some Andy Mineo at church. He's talking about things that are spiritual, things that are.
Whoa.
I know I'm on all the way on the outside.
Radical.
I'm on the
radical.
What's next, Cardi B?
I'm on the outside. Like my thing is, like, I feel like church shouldn't be uniform.
It should.
Like, it shouldn't be. It should not
different
be.
we are.
Like, we're all different people. It should not be uniform. I should not be expected to be enclosed in a certain space and then to go into another space and then be enclosed even more.
I have a question, Real.
Yeah.
Based off what you said, just based off the music aspect, and that's something I just thought. R. Kelly got a gospel album. Is that too radical?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I've never heard it, so I can't speak to it.
I want to play a game.
Yeah. Okay. These random thoughts are scary.
Let's play a game called...
But before we play the game, can I finish, y'all?
Yeah.
Like, another thing that he said, he blatantly said, this is not an attack on the church. It's kind of like, to me, this is, people getting mad at this is like me saying, yo, I was abused, or yo, my feelings are hurt because of X, Y, and Z. And so, nobody want to hear that. You shouldn't be talking about that. Keep that at home. You're silencing me and my feelings. This is how what's wrong with this? And this is something that I said to myself. I said I was going to say something that was probably going to be controversial. I feel like if he was a black woman and said this, nobody would be able to say anything to him.
No.
Like, if he was a black woman, he would be so safe to say whatever he wanted and not face any backlash at all.
On the internet.
He would not face, in my opinion, I don't feel like he would face any backlash. Okay, and that's fine.
I just wanted to make that, because in the real world, black women do not have the space to do that. But on the internet, women in general rule conversation.
Seriously though,
That's
what I was referring to.
In the real world, though, negative.
Okay, I can rock with
on
that.
social media. Bless her heart for saying her piece. But as a man, you really don't have the right to say what you want, brother.
Especially not a black man. Social media hate y'all.
Why you think?
Thank you for saying it, Will. Thank you for saying it. Yeah, man.
I can't even get on Twitter no more. I'm like, oh my god.
Apparently, online, I'm viewed as Osama bin Laden was in 2001 after 9/11. Like, that's how I'm a terrorist in people's eyes as a black man. But anyway,
what's your game?
Yeah, let's play your game with. I feel like we play like Saul.
I
want to play a game.
You said R. Kelly has a gospel album.
If I'm not mistaken.
And then you see John Gray cheats on his wife, right? And you see Ravi comes out with all the sexual allegations after he dies, right?
Ravi.
And then you see TDJ struggling with the relationship with his children the whole time he was in his early ministry.
Wait,
like,
what happened?
The game that I want to play is pick a religious figure that we idolize that should be idolized.
That should be?
Mm-hmm.
I can't. No one should be
close.
No one should be idolized.
Outside of Jesus.
Pick a pastor. Pick a pastor.
I can't.
Pass.
Pick a gospel artist. People. The real problem is that everybody's looking for an idol that's not Jesus. Even
True.
the church. The pastor is the idol. The pastor is for the church what the celebrity is for the real world, right? Like, at the end of the day,
they become the focal.
We love to highlight when people have a scandal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then all you do is
juicy.
push your church leaders to a point where they get really good at covering up their scandals.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think people like Ravi died and had a great life, right? Like, oh, he was such a monumental religious. He taught so much about the word. And then 6 months later, oh, he also raped 11 women, right? And then how do you reconcile with that, right? And I think that's why it's so very, very dangerous for Christians to have such Yeah,
Audacity?
the audacity.
The audacity?
Christians and men are alike in that way, where they got audacity. Christians got the audacity.
Christians
and
and
men
men.
gonna have the audacity.
I got some in my pocket.
Just keep it on
Extra
in.
audacity.
Completely unmerited. Just have it. And Christians are like that.
Go to the
Christians got
drive-thru.
so much audacity.
Extra audacity, boy.
It's wild. I feel like a lot of times what you said was so spot on. Like we do as a society, as a people, put people on a pedestal and expect them to stay there. And the moment they fall or slip or trip, we look at them like micromanagers and we judge everything that they do.
But that's only because most of us can't bring it in ourselves to rise up to the level that we put our idols on, right? If all of us has an equal amount of greatness stored within us, but 97% of us
Don't reach that level.
won't tap into it, or is more infatuated with looking at other people's greatness than tapping into their own, then that's the only thing you have is to look towards somebody else's. But all greatness is fragile. All human greatness is fragile. Since the Bible, you can't
It's
even
temporary.
you can't even pick a biblical hero who had, matter of fact, the biblical heroes was worse than the stuff we hear about our pastors,
True.
right? Like, so,
They had some real issues.
but church people also don't really know their Bible.
Shout out to David. It's something that you said earlier too. Like if God came down and went to church, like what would that experience be like? I think about like the first church in Acts.
Yeah.
Like if Paul was to show up, if
Same
Peter
what
and the
I-
apostles showed up, like
Same what I told y'all.
like what is? They would be so confused by church.
They would not understand.
They would be like, wait, this is worship service. They would be so confused by what they saw.
yeah.
That's wild to me
Yeah.
thinking about that aspect with.
I want to read this comment from
What they say?
what they say. This was in response to Lecrae.
Make sure you read their ad name.
You want to read the ad name?
Yeah. Like put it on
This is
public.
Pastor Hamilton.
All right, Pastor Hamilton. Hello.
His name is Paul Hamilton. So
What up, Paul?
Christ loves the church, and we are to love what he loves. Those who say I love Christ but are more comfortable with the music of a Christ-denying culture are revealing something very troubling about their claim.
All right, Paul, you
Okay,
dead wrong, buddy.
Hold on, a Christ denying culture. So hold up, Chris, before you say anything, a Christ denying culture. I'm assuming he's talking about rap. So there's also R&B gospel music. So if I like R&B gospel music, am I also loving?
And also to add on to Jarrell's point, right? Because I personally, Paul, you dropped the ball in three words in, because he said Christ loves the church, and that's very true, right? But what is the church, Mr. Hamilton? The church is his
The people.
body, right?
The
His
people.
people,
It's us.
the people,
It's
the
me.
person who wrote the
It's
status
me.
that you down there telling he don't love the Lord. That's the church, right? The church as an institution is who killed Jesus. Jesus did not love that church. That's the church he flipped the tables over at. It's to you talking. Christians love to use that, right, and say, well, Christ didn't love the church. His people. He went in the church and flipped the tables over, and the church killed him. Like,
True.
Pastor Hamilton in Ohio.
but we appreciate your commentary.
Appreciate you.
What's the next
stopping
one?
in.
But never mind. But do we though? Like,
No.
Okay, let's read this one because I liked her first sentence or his first sentence. Martin Marithi at Matter. I can't say that.
just read the comment.
Yeah, we're gonna say it. We're just gonna read the comment. I agree with you, but not everything. Christ tells us to love even those who persecute us. Yet, how many Christians are doing that now? The church is evolving just like it did when you were a remnant. Please remember, Paul was also among the Christ-denying culture, as you put it.
What?
But I think
How does that relate to what Lecrae said?
it doesn't at all. And why can't that man express, this is I think at its root, how come he can't say, I feel ostracized by the church? And the church's response isn't to comfort him. It isn't to reassure him.
should be to
it isn't
embrace.
to validate or affirm him. The church's response is to tell him, well, we don't like you either. And if you hate Christ, then you hate all of us, nigga. So
It's
I
hope
tell
in
you
the
what,
streets.
if it's like that, it's like, wait, what?
Pull up then.
How come he can't say, this is my experience and this is how it makes me feel? If any other person were to say that, current culture would tell you, well, you need to validate and affirm them. If somebody shares their experience, that's their right? But when it comes to church, now that's not the case. Now people can't share their experience and still be validated. I don't really agree with that.
Yeah, I hate that. Got another one, Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna read. I'm trying to find somebody who actually sees it. I feel like this one gets it. It's okay. Jesus stopped going to synagogue, church, air quotes on church, worship about halfway through his ministry. Seems like he wasn't too churchy either.
Exactly.
Spending his time traveling, teaching the people, and dodging hypocritical leaders who want him dead.
That's the whole
Hashtag
tweet.
in good company, hashtag peace friend.
And what's that at name?
That is Seeking Health Pod.
Seeking Health Pod. I'm gonna check you out.
And I'm still sitting here just baffled by some of the previous comments. Like, I'm trying to understand what he said that was offensive. I want to understand what he said that was wrong. To me, it sounds like he just like if I was to say, "Oh, I hate rom-coms." I don't like rom-coms. It doesn't mean I don't like movies.
Yeah.
That's just not my taste.
Literally.
Why can't he say his taste or his preference regarding his church, the way he wants to go to church, the music he like? I hate that people can't have opinions, and when you do give one, the world feels like they can attack your opinion.
Yeah. Which is then who would want to go to a church like that? Why would I want to go to a church like that?
And the wild part is it's only the church that's attacking him. It's only the church that's attacking this man. Like, Lecrae, we stand with you, bro. Like, that's wild. That's wild.
I completely understand this, but I feel this tweet undersells a lot of things. Worship music isn't a style of a matter of taste. It actually serves a purpose. The purpose of keeping still and interaction of your spirit. Every genre of music evokes a certain sort of feeling. I don't know. It started off good, then it kind of tailed off.
Read that for me again, Chris.
I completely understand this, but I feel this tweet undersells a lot of things. Worship music isn't a style of a matter of taste. It actually serves a purpose. The purpose of keeping still and interaction of your spirit. Every genre of music evokes a certain sort of feel. I guess what he's saying is every genre of music can't be used to worship because worship has a purpose, and the music evokes a certain emotion, and that emotion may not be in line with the posture you need for worship.
So why can't my thing is, what is worship?
Well, so he says, according to him, worship music isn't a style of a matter of taste. It actually serves a purpose, and the purpose of it is to keep still and interact and get your spirit to interact.
So why can't me as someone who writes music, me as someone who writes rap music regularly, can worship God with my pen? Because I dedicate my pen to him. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with the beat and the 808s and the snare that's going on behind the scenes. No. But it has everything to do with the message that God is giving to me that I'm delivering to people. So that, like, to me, that comment makes no sense at all. There is no style to worship God in. No. David danced.
And you should worship God in everything you do, right? You should be worshiping God in the performance at your job. You should be worshiping God in the community service that you do. When you babysit somebody's kids and you don't just put them in their room and close the door with an iPad, that's worshiping God. Everything you do that you do at the highest level is worship.
And my thing is not only that, but every single musician that we can think of that has gospel music that, let's say, that particular person deems as worthy of worship music that they can listen to and allow the Spirit to usher in, however they want to phrase it. Every single person that's associated with that song has sinned before. So should we count all of that as no good?
Well, and then even if you go into terms of like spiritual energy laws, right? Like, okay, you say worship has a purpose and all music can't be worshiped to. We are influenced by music on an energy level in two ways, right? By the words that are said, so the lyrics, and then by the frequency of the beats, right? If the words say one thing,
I was going to say something to that second.
Yeah, the frequency of the beats alters your energy levels and where you are metaphysically in your body, right?
I can't believe you said that.
Yeah, and so that doesn't even make sense, because if you go have a worship track produced in the same studio that they just laid down a trap track with the same frequency beat and just different words, like, is it not invoking the same? You know what I mean?
I do
like,
all the time here.
People,
Fred be having that boom boom land, and
people just like to feel better. I think people
give me
just
that 808,
like
but I put some Jesus on it. Yeah. But I saw a video on YouTube to that point where, and this may in some ways even play into what my guy is saying here. He was saying that the syncopation of a beat evokes a certain energy and puts you in a certain emotional state. So, to like where if you make a song on a certain beat, like it almost made it seem like you were channeling like a dark energy versus putting on a different syncopation and a different frequency. Now that's more like worship. And I'm like,
well, fun fact. Oh, sorry, Terrell. Fun fact, just on that topic. Beat rhythms are like that, right? So light energy is where we get sound from, right? So when the sun hits a thing, it radiates light, and there's a sound that comes off of that. So each one of us have our own unique sound that is constantly radiating off of us. Wow. This microphone has a sound. I have a sound. You have a sound, right? And so there are, when you listen to music or wear different metals, put on different crystals, it alters the way that your sound is spiritually, right? And so you can, they have beats that where you can put on headphones, and I mean, like, we grown. Like, you can put on headphones and listen to a beat, and it'll invoke an orgasm. Like, music is incredibly powerful.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're called sonar beats. Music is incredibly powerful in the way that it influences us. That's why I tell people all the time, I listen to music based off of how it make me feel. I don't really listen to the lyrics.
This is true.
So-
It's so wild to me because like and me and Chris have talked about this, and I think this is one of the reasons why Chris is so talented when it comes to music, because Chris loves music. And I'm so different when it comes to music, like especially with rap music particularly. I can listen to a rap song, and if the lyrics were amazing, I could appreciate it.
Mhm.
I would probably prefer to listen to music with no beats.
But that's because you're a poet, by the way.
I guess
exactly.
because
He's a wordsmith.
and so for me, like this may sound weird, but like beats, and I may be wrong. I probably am wrong, but to me, beats don't make a difference to me if your words aren't saying anything.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why I
Yeah.
stand
I'm
on that.
literally in the middle of both of y'all. Like, you have to give me something that you're talking about, but if you're saying you can spit a fire lyrical song, but if the beat is trash, I'm only gonna halfway appreciate it, and vice versa. if you give me a fire production, but you ain't talking about nothing, I'm only gonna halfway like appreciate it. So it's like I'm the middle ground of both of y'all when it comes to music.
And I guess because of from what I've seen in the world, like 99% of rappers have amazing beats and production, but your words mean trash. They're poo. And yes, I said that.
But why is that? That's because if you have an agenda to use music to shape the minds of
And
a
to
culture,
lead people the wrong way.
then you put on beats that draw them in,
Mhm.
right? And if they're engaged with the beat enough, they don't even really hear what's being said, right?
Beats.
So you see like people dancing to TikTok videos or kids, and they don't even really hear what they was just saying. I was talking to my friend on the way in here, and he was saying that same thing. Like his little niece be doing like little TikTok dances, and the most he let her do is like the little hip hop Harry stuff, because he's like, you don't need to do all that.
Seriously,
And that's
though.
100% fair, because kids don't understand what they're being programmed with, right? They just like the music. They just like how it makes them feel.
It's so funny.
New song that's out with the kind of chubby guy.
Murray?
No,
Okay.
Ride Wave?
no, it ain't him. It's a dude that's like him though.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. I don't know.
How does it
How
go?
the song go?
Cause he's sitting on the stoop with a whole bunch of people. Not a whole bunch of
Is it Toby?
people.
It sounds like that's Murray. That's with a kickstand.
Yeah, Murray.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Me with a quick man.
Everybody loves that song. If you listen to the lyrics of that's a trap song.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
trap song all the way.
Well, how about
it don't
that-
matter. We with a kickstand.
Oh, man.
How about that
With a
song?
kickstand. He talking about being in them streets.
But
in
it
them
sounds
streets.
nice.
But it sounds so melodic.
It's a song I sang probably for 2 months, y'all. I was like,
Was that Mon and Dirt?
no, the one that's like, oh baby. But then I realized he wasn't saying,
Oh,
oh,
my
baby.
God. No, he said.
And I started listening. I said,
Say throw, baby.
oh,
Wait, what?
the whole. I thought he was saying, oh baby. The
You
whole
ever
time
seen
I'm just
you ever seen the
singing.
Christmas carolers singing that?
Mm-mm.
They were going house to house. Throw, baby.
Y'all know what's
I
crazy?
haven't seen
So we're
that.
talking about songs that have like crazy great beats, because I feel like the beats are meant to lift us up and the lyrics are meant to bring us down.
Mhm.
That's exactly what
That's
it
the
is.
formula.
Exactly what it is.
That's the formula.
That's the formula. Like what's the song? All with the pumped up kicks better
Yeah.
run. That song is about shooting up a school. That's literally what the song's about. The
It
song,
really is.
one of the biggest songs ever. Hey Y'all by Andre 3000 from Outkast. These are the lyrics. He said, "You think you got it? Ooh, you think you got it, but got it just don't get it till there's nothing at all. We get together, but separate's always better when there's feelings involved. If what they say is nothing is forever, then what makes love the exception? So why are we so in denial when we know we're not happy here? Y'all don't want to hear me. You just want to dance. This song is literally telling people, don't even get in relationships. Don't even love people. So I'm like, exactly. And he breaking it down. Hey,
And now look at the divorce rate.
and this and the
70%.
it's crazy.
That's not right here.
It's crazy that's this is what this song is about, but we feel happy when we listen to it.
That's why.
I mean, when that song first came out years ago, I was like, "Oh, this is it! Ain't nothing better than this." I was dancing every single time that song came on.
Wow. You know, like when you.
That was his introduction his introduction to let you know how he really feels.
Feels right, and how he writes
He is a
music.
social recluse.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you
definitely,
know.
And after that,
You just disappear.
exactly, true.
It reminds me
And
of
one
like
of the
when
best.
you like when you burn something on the stove, and so you have to heat up the skillet before you wipe it down to loosen up the stuff. And I think the beats, if we were burnt skillets, the beats heat us up to loosen the stuff up, but the words come and remove everything away from us. And I think that's
Y'all
the
killing me.
programming formula. Like the
That's
beats
it.
heat us up just enough that everything can be removed, and then we look up and it's like, we'd have been gutted out. Why do I hate these niggas? Like,
That's a whole bar, Wit.
literally.
Stolen.
Take it. Put it in the
For
song.
real.
If I
But
make
that-
it in a real song,
I'm like,
I
because
made
Wit said, I
We
like
said, don't
that.
listen to the quicksand.
Ooh.
Don't listen to
Don't listen to the quicksand song.
Ooh, with the bars.
Listen.
Yeah, but music really be out here fooling people, man.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna name this one. I don't know. I thought of a name while we were talking.
Go against the Crae.
Go against the
Because you know the fray?
The fray.
Go against the Crae.
Go against the Crae.
I like that.
I was thinking,
Just a play on
you
words.
know what? Now that I'm about to say it, it sounds corny. And I don't want to say it out loud.
Say it out loud,
gets to
Chris.
the tip of you, like your tongue, and be
Hey,
like, ugh.
You know what a friend of mine said? She said, I never met your friend Chris, but I like him when I listen to the show. He's really comfortable in his awkwardness. Chris, just say it, bro. Just say it.
I don't know that friend, but thank you. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
her name is Chris. Her name is Chris. Chris with a K.
is
What's
solid.
up, Chris? That's my
Shout
girl.
out to Chris. Chris be solids out here. You know what I'm saying? The name would be Churchy versus Just Me. How about that?
I love it.
You love it?
Yeah.
I do not.
See? Look at real. Face of disapproval. Always. What you got?
Face of disapproval.
What you got?
I gave you mine.
It was the
Going against the Crae.
I actually do like that more.
I like
What
it.
you do?
I'm
What you do
neutral.
with it?
I'm neutral.
No,
Rock, paper,
that's
scissors
not-
over it.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Let's freestyle battle over it.
Oh, all right.
He
15
pulls up lyrics.
Let me get my notes out.
Well, kill.
I used to
I got
stay
one.
downtown next to Main Street doing a Cool Mo D song.
I see you across the hall. We just start battling.
Now
Fred, you gonna
let Fred break the tie.
you gonna break the tie for the
Yeah.
for the freestyle battle? They doing the freestyle battle over the name.
Are we gonna do a
No.
freestyle battle? All right, 15 seconds. 15
All right,
seconds.
Spit. You go first.
We have to
Give me the
freestyle
timer.
about the name of the episode.
All right.
All right.
And what was the
Who's-
name of
who's
yours
going
again?
first?
Churchy versus Just Me.
Okay, go ahead.
Rock, paper, scissors, see who go first.
Okay.
I see the strategy y'all are going with here. So who goes first?
Wait,
I'll go first.
I thought that was a block of cheese.
I'll go first.
Spit
Let me
it.
know when you're ready.
He said he
I'm
going
not
first.
Oh, you going first? Okay, take your time.
ready. 15 seconds.
Yep, 15 seconds. That's what enough for four bars. Just quick.
4 bars. Boom, boom, in and out.
In and out.
All right, now I'm not in album mode right now. So.
Take me to heat up.
You know
Take
what
me
I'm
to
saying?
heat
You
up.
know what I'm saying? This is more like freestyle EP, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
This SoundCloud mode.
SoundCloud. There we go. All right. Just start. I'm going to say
Okay.
something. I don't know what I'm going to say.
Well, I don't want you to lose your seconds because you only got 15 of them.
All right, start.
Okay.
Churchy versus Just Me. Today we get to see what Lecrae decided to tweet the other day that had the church in dismay. Made us say, hey, we need to talk about it. Get our thoughts aligned. Can't walk around it.
Look at you. Okay. Okay.
What was it?
Jarrell?
What was the name of your what was it?
Churchy versus Just Me.
Okay.
Let me know when
Give
it's started.
me a 7-second countdown. I'm gonna
Okay.
do it mentally in my head.
7.
No, I said mentally.
How you gonna say give me it and then I'm gonna do it mentally?
No, I said.
No, I'm counting in my head. He's counting his head. And
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna
Yeah.
start after 7.
All right.
I'm gonna do Mississippi's after my number so that you
Okay.
get some time. Okay.
Okay. All right, I'm just gonna start.
Oh. Okay.
Churchy versus Just Me.
That's not the name of your
No,
name.
no. I'm dissing yours.
Oh,
Whoa! From the top, make it drop.
okay, my fault. I was like, that's not your name. Started again.
Did I say it right? Churchy versus. Did I say churchy versus?
My scalp.
I want you right here with the George Jefferson because he didn't
scalp me.
snatch you up.
I don't want.
Whew, okay. We'll edit that part out. Nobody need to hear it.
Go.
All right.
Just go.
All right.
Let's see here.
Churchy versus Just Me. That's unjustly. What I said it should be called is what it must be called. Because I'm the man out here. And I'm going to pass it to you like Chris Paul, but take it right back and then dunk it off the backboard. Yeah, just like that.
Okay.
That was
I give it to
trash.
you.
Period.
I give it to him. Actually liked his more than mine.
Fred.
Yeah, real got it.
Yeah, as soon
See,
as
I said
Fred,
he was
as soon as
better
Fred said I won, I was like, I don't even have to rap.
Shay helped.
Should have dissed you.
I always go
Should
to
have went
this
to B
track.
Rabbit.
Going against the Lecrae.
What happens when you gotta go first?
Yeah, you know, you should
shoulda
have
let
said
me-
a weak bar. Somebody just comes and just jumps over it. It's cool, whatever.
Please,
All right,
please,
Lecrae,
please
what
know
was
that
it?
that was nothing that like what we really do.
No,
Please
no, it's
believe
not
that.
At all. That was Dr. Seuss.
Mhm.
What was the name?
Going against the Lecrae.
Going against the Cray, dropping soon, maybe today.
Ooh, that rhyme,
Yeah,
Chris.
I know, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sign off
You
on
should
that
use
one.
that for your boy.
I
They would
know,
have kept
man. I
your
always
edges.
think of my stuff just always after the fact.
Yeah.
It's like them arguments like, oh, I ain't
You
hit
in
him
the
with
shower
that.
like, oh,
Dang.
I ain't hit him in the throat with that.
crispy and another.
Man, let me call. You know what? You know what?
I ain't done. I know I said I was done, but I'm actually not done.
Look, you be like this. You know what? Calling. Hello. You know what? You know what? You know what? No. You gonna hit me? No. You me. I'm tired of you being a me monster. me, all about me. Let me talk me. Like, chill out, brother.
All right, we gonna bounce. Let Fred get back to the pond. I know he waiting to fish. That's why we ain't been able to pull up real talk. Fred been on the river, on the bayous and
Fred
whatnot.
tryna
We ain't
stock up
got
for the
bayous,
apocalypse.
but Fred got a bayou and he go fish.
At the bayou.
Fred, you gotta buy you. Was it made? Look, you gotta buy you. Was it made by you? If not by you, then by who?
I know you keep it bayou too. I appreciate y'all pulling up, breaking bread, getting fed, tuning into going against the Cray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dropping soon. This is Height signing off.
This is Real saying peace. Love y'all, man.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, guys.
All right, appreciate you, Fred. We out.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
All right, appreciate you, Fred. We out.
Peace.